So one of the criticisms of the alignment change models is that the human being, all of us as humans, don't really show up very much in those models except as staff or skills. The emotional side of change doesn't really get into the model. That's where a whole other set of models becomes very useful, because the vast majority of change episodes that fail for emotional reasons, because of emotional obstacles. One of the earliest models to deal with this was Elisabeth Kübler-Ross and her model of the grief cycle. This was from the 1960s and came from Kübler-Ross's work as a doctor in palliative care and in care of the dying. She looked at the stages of grief, from resisting the news and anger, moving through to depression, moving through to acceptance, and finally accommodation. This kind of thing sounds like it would have nothing to do with change, but actually when you apply it to corporate change settings, of course it's not always exactly true. Not everybody goes through this grief curve all of the time. But paying attention to where people might be on that curve can sometimes be really useful. Another model that does similar work is William Bridger's transition model from the 1990s. It says you have beginnings and you have endings, and you can't expect people to be ready for a new beginning unless they've had the opportunity to end well. So it says in the change process, recognize what's not changing, recognize what is changing, and allow people to give up the things they've cherished. Provide some space for those endings to be made and to be marked. Don't expect everybody just to jump to a beginning. They may not be ready. It also, very helpfully, has a stage called transition. Between the ending and the beginning, sometimes it's necessary for people to go through transitional stages, and there may be some explicit work that you need to do as a change leader to actually facilitate the transition. You may not be ready to announce the whole change. You may not know the whole future story. Some of the exploratory work that we talk about in action research actually is really good participative engagement to do in this transition stage, helping people to explore with you what the next step of a change may be. So have a look at the transitions model using the link we've provided. It's got some good stuff in it.